Welcome to my world. My name is Bugs. Come along with me into this journey into my world. First things first, I just want to say thank you to those who have subscribed to me over the last few days since my first video went up. I've got 15 subscribers now as of this recording. I know it's not a lot, but hey, it's more than I had 2 days ago. And I just want to thank you all who clicked that subscribe button, and I hope you continue to support me through this journey I'm on and through pursuing my passion. And if you haven't yet clicked it, please, hey, click that subscribe button and click that bell notification button. Stay informed. I plan to try to upload regularly. Starting out, I'm going to try to upload like a few times during the week. Eventually, I may start uploading almost every day. But for right now, I'm just kind of going as I want to go along with it, and definitely trying to commit to at least 3-4 times a week for right now. And so, yeah. So again, thank you for those who have subscribed to me, and are continuing to support me. So today I'm going to talk to you more about my passions and what I'm passionate about, and to go a little more detail into it. Right now I'm very passionate in film and media production, and that's kind of where I want to eventually get to, where I can make film, make movies, make videos, and be able to produce it and show people what I can do. And right now I'm at a point where I'm just getting started. I'm like at the ground level, and I hope to one day be able to do that. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. In the meantime, I'm going to use this channel to basically just talk about whatever I want to talk about any given day. From movies to TV shows to maybe current events or whatever fancies my interest for the day. And that's kind of what I'm going to go with. Probably mainly going to be talking about like movies and TV shows. Definitely a big Marvel fan and talk about the MCU a lot, and definitely a big Star Wars fan. So definitely going to be talking about those things a lot on this channel. Um, Also, I plan to have a group of friends that we're going to try something out and hopefully get it done this weekend and have something beginning of next week. A group video where we're all going to kind of do like a conference call thing, and we're just going to discuss basically movies and what are movies that we like and we are interested in. I'm going to give that a try, and hopefully if that can kick off maybe down the road and may turn into something even bigger and long term. But for right now, I'm just going with the flow, and I hope you come along with me on this journey, and I just appreciate it. One of the big things I want to talk about, I'm trying to figure out the last few days, what is the big thing I want to talk about in my first actual video. My first video a couple days ago was just my introduction and just launching the channel, and now this is actually my channel, and this is the actual video I have to get going with. And I was torn on if I wanted to do like my favorite movies or what I wanted to do with it, but I kind of decided I just wanted to kind of give my personal review of the Infinity Saga within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which just wrapped up just a few months ago with 22 movies. 23 movies if you can't, with counting Spider-Man Far From Home. And just what kind of impact that entire franchise had on the history of movies over the last decade is unbelievable. All the way back from the first Iron Man, when we first meet Tony Stark, and just going on his journey through him figuring out who he is and becoming Iron Man, and meeting Nick Fury there at the first post-credit scene was amazing. And just seeing the journey and the ride that the last 10 years has took is amazing what they've done with that. And it's going to be hard for them or anyone to top what they did with that line of stories of those 22, 23 movie series of movies, interconnected franchises. I don't think there's ever been any movie cinematic universe quite like this where there's multiple different movies that had interconnected in throughout their entire series to create an entire universe. I think there's been sometimes some people have tried some things, but not this immersive and this connected. And it's amazing, and I look forward to what they're going to be doing going forward to Phase 4. And that's another video for another time to talk about Phase 4. But right now we're talking about the Infinity Saga. And when Iron Man first came out, I wasn't really big into comic books growing up. I loved the superheroes. I just never got into reading the comics. I love Spider-Man. I love Captain America. Captain America is my favorite superhero. And I remember watching Ant-Man cartoons as a kid, watching some of the Avengers, watching X-Men, watching the X-Men movies in the 2000s, Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, and it's just awesome. And I'm more so the kind of person, I read the backstory of the comics, like online, what people say, and go through like Wikipedia and fan forums or whatever to find out my history of a lot of these stories. And it was a pretty interesting ride coming along on this ride. And one of the big things I loved about the MCU, or what they've done in several of their movies. My favorite movie of the MCU is Captain America Winter Soldier. Did this perfectly. I went in there knowing the twist, and yet they blew my mind. And if you're a fan of the comic books, going in there, you knew what the twist was. That the Winter Soldier was Bucky. And so going in there, I knew that was going to be, but the whole entire twist of Hydra being infiltrated into S.H.I.E.L.D. and just having to go through that, and it just blew my mind. It's like, okay, that's awesome. And a lot of their movies does this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, I loved the idea, the premise. It was great. I don't think it worked with this character. If this character didn't have the history it had in the comic books going in, I think I would have loved that idea. It would have been the greatest twist in cinematic history. Oh, well, maybe not the greatest, but it's up there with the greatest twists in cinematic history. But again, that's just my opinion. I didn't really like it. After watching it again the second time, just a few months ago to lead up to Endgame, I kind of realized it was a pretty good movie, and I liked it, and I still a little iffy on the twist, but I'm kind of glad that they're kind of retconning it in the Phase 4 and bringing the real Mandarin. That's going to be awesome. The most recent movie to do this is Far From Home. And Spider-Man goes up against Mysterio. When they first announced it, I didn't know much about Mysterio, but I knew he was a bad guy. I knew that much. And I looked up his backstory and like I knew he was a bad guy. Then they released the first trailer. And then they showed him as a good guy. And I was like, what? And I was a little confused when the first trailers were showing Mysterio as a good guy. And then I read up a little bit more about his origins, and I'm like, okay, maybe they're trying that. And I'm like, okay, well, I already knew the twist coming. And even going in, even though I knew what the twist was, it still blew my mind. And I would probably say, I'm going to give it time before I give it official, but I would say it's going to be my number 2 MCU movie, if not beat Civil War. Just from the storytelling and the cinematic spectacle that movie was. It was great. And then the post-credit scenes. Oh. J. Jonah Jameson. There's only one person that can play him. And that was J.K. Simmons. And I was just saying a few months ago that they can't, if they would ever bring him back in, they can't find anybody else. The only way they can do it is to bring back J.K. Simmons. And sure enough, they did. That was awesome. And just that whole scene, and then having Spider-Man being framed for what Mysterio does, I just can't wait to see what the next Spider-Man movie does. And then the second post-credit scene is even crazier. I knew there was something off about Nick Fury and Maria Hill in that movie. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then it was revealed that they were Skrulls impersonating them. And I had a theory back during Captain Marvel that they were going to try and bring the Skrulls back, and we were going to have a secret invasion. With that, I also have another little spoiler, not a spoiler, theory, that I think they can bring back Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans for a future Avengers movie. Whether they do it, I don't know, but it'd be cool if the doors open, especially with the Skrulls, because I can see them, Skrulls impersonating them, Iron Man and Captain America, and trying to figure out, wait, didn't they die? Didn't they go and retire? And that would be awesome. But overall, the entire interconnectedness of the entire movie franchise, all the way back to the first Iron Man, and going through The Incredible Hulk, even though, yeah, a lot of people don't like that movie. I think it's an okay movie. I think it's a little underrated, but yeah, it could have been better. To Thor, Captain America, the first Avenger, then the Avengers, and then we go into Phase 2, with that whole Captain America, Winter Soldier just changing everything. And within the franchise, within the entire universe, having S.H.I.E.L.D. be compromised and Hydra infiltrating them. And just going through the Guardians of the Galaxy and Iron Man 3 and just going through these characters, getting to know these characters and loving these characters and having these characters be part of our personal world, and it's just amazing. And it was just so satisfying with the culmination of Infinity War and Endgame. It was just unbelievable. And oh, I'm gonna have to do several videos just detailing all that I love about the MCU. But yeah, it's definitely, I would say, it's the greatest cinematic universe of all time, and it's going to be near impossible to beat it. Until next time we see each other, I hope you have a great day and live it to the fullest. Peace out.